Rugby League is back.
Drum roll, please.
You're a true Warriors fan.
I have no recollection of that hot take.
We don't all have to agree.
It's good to be back.
It's just a really boring thing.
Oh, no.
Start winning some games.
I think there'll be a lot of changes to the team.
I've got them making the 8 for mine.
Let's go. Hello, folks, and welcome back to the Advantage Line, TAB's Rugby League betting podcast. My name is Karl. That is Paul Mawate. Paul, another big week on the punt in the NRL.
Yeah, big week. Not a good week for myself, but there was plenty of good footy played. And I guess there'll be a number of talking points that Teddy will probably want to highlight in terms of the officials once again.
And we'll go to our man Teddy now. Teddy, welcome in. How was your weekend?
Well, as an Australian, I dare say it was better than yours. But I was good weekend the footy. Look, the run of the punt has been in an all-time good fast lane here for the punt. The try scorers have been hitting. The lines have been covering. So good weekend on the punt and gearing up for Magic Round.
Nice. It is Magic Round. We'll get to that shortly. We'll kick off the show with divided opinion, and we're going to have a bit of fun this week. Teddy, you suggested we do something last week, and I quite like the idea that we go through and we rank the teams high to low of who we like to watch in terms of most fun to watch, least fun to watch. You sent me yours. Paul didn't send me his, so you can just
here.
Yeah, well,
A bit late for him to do anything with now, Paul.
have you got yours in front of you, Ted?
I'm just bringing it up as we speak. Yeah, I've got one in front of me.
All right, we'll do it in blocks of 4.
All right.
We'll go around the table. Teddy, you start. Top 4. Oh, should we go bottom up, actually?
Yeah, bottom up.
Least
Bottom 5.
fun to watch. Bottom 5.
From the worst to improve, Knights, Tigers, Dragons, Titans, Eels.
I've just ticked off 4 of those to mine as well. 4 of those 5. I've gone Knights, Tigers, Dragons, Eels, and Raiders.
Rabbitohs, Knights, Tigers, Titans, Eels.
Tough scenes for the Knights, Tigers, and Eels there.
Yeah. Well, they play really like obviously teams like there's going to be a strong correlation between really good halves and fullbacks at the top and really shit halves and fullbacks on the bottom, and that obviously is a strong correlation with the latter. But you're going to notice a few of those clubs lack the talent, but then also stylistically play a very, very boring block runner. Unable to play what's in front of them. So that's kind of where I was at with the bottom. That's probably what put the Raiders just above the Eels for me in terms of not being in that bottom 5 was they play a very predictable attack, whereas the Raiders can sometimes play a bit loose.
Yeah. Did you guys find this? I found the teams that I just dislike as well fell to the bottom quite easily.
No, I hate the Broncos and I don't really like the Roosters. They were quite high up for me. So.
Okay. Next 4, we'll go to you first, Paul.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Bulldogs, Dragons, Raiders, Wars.
Nothing there for me. Bulldogs,
Dragons, Raiders, Wars.
Wars. Okay. Teddy?
Raiders, Wars, Bulldogs, South. So I think Paul and I might have the same bottom 9.
Yeah.
In the sounds of it.
Yeah.
In pretty close order.
I've got Souths, Panthers, Manly, Dogs.
Well, Manly are quite entertaining to watch because they can't tackle. And a fun little fact about Manly. Manly have the highest scoring rate off a turnover. Because they play like the old UK rule of free play. they've essentially understand that the rules essentially become a free play. The advantage rarely gets called now, so they treat it like a free play, and they score more from the not from broken play than any other team by quite a margin. So that's been somewhat interesting.
I don't often watch Manly games because I don't like Manly, so that could also play, does play into why I've got them so low. It's something about Manly. Glenn Stewart forward pass, 2011 grand final.
Well, I will say this: the greatest FPOS machine going around is Tom Travoy. We keep on try to score every week. So sadly, we're not going to have him for the next 6 or 7 weeks. But watching Manly games when he's been bet when $2.25 has been better about him scoring a try, it does make it somewhat entertaining for the desperados like me.
Yeah, you say the greatest FPOS machine that was the greatest FPOS machine.
Well, it's a very temperamental machine because he's really there for the entire season. So we did well to get 10 weeks out of it, to be honest.
So skimmers come over the top. All right, next 4. I'll go Sharks, Cowboys, Wars, Titans. And I've got the Warriors there because I thought of that. The meme, I think it's a football coach. He's like, sometimes it may be good, sometimes it may be shit. So very, very hard. As a Warriors fan, it was a tough watch on the weekend. I'll give you that.
It was, but I just find the Warriors so predictable. Even when they were playing well last year, and they were doing really well, I didn't find that brand of football particularly entertaining. But they play through the middle a lot, and they play a very structured game. And when it's all clicking, it's nice to watch. But yeah, for me, not overly entertaining. There are a few teams in broken play who I think I should be worried about this team in broken play.
Well, who you got then?
I've got Sharks, Panthers, Cowboys, Manly at 8-5.
You got the same.
No, I've got Storm, Sharks, Manly, Panthers.
So then, sounds like we've all got 2 in the top 4. Roosters, Dolphins.
Yep.
And I've got the other 2. I've got Storm and Broncos.
Yeah, so do I.
In the reverse order. So Broncos, Storm, the Dolphins, Roosters.
I've got Dolphins, Storm, Roosters, Broncos. Broncos, my center.
Cowboys, Dolphins, Broncos, Roosters.
It's pretty clear at the top who we like, and obviously, like to me, the Broncos are the most entertaining just with the frenetic pace they play at. And they score a heap of tries through the middle, but it's not through forwards. It's not the Fanua Blake going through them. It is Ezra Mam chipping, just stuff like the chip and chase coming back into the game a little bit, and Ezra Mam like trying to spin the ball wide from your own line. The Broncos are a really entertaining team, and the Roosters are getting that way this year. If we were talking about last year, going backwards, I would not have had the Roosters in the top half. They are playing great football, and I hate when players go to rugby union. I usually tell them just to bugger off and don't come back. But Kerry Martin will be a bit of a loss. I'll admit that.
Wow, we're making progress here on the advantage line.
I'll concede that.
Wow,
and I'm high on the Storm as well. I know the Storm are probably for a long time are rightly chastised as being defence first. You tell me if you're listing if this was a players list of the top 15 players. Pappenhausen, Jerome Hughes, and Cameron Munster would surely all be in there, and Harry Grant wouldn't be far away either. So, for a hooker, for a hooker is entertaining. Harry Grant's really, but there's no player I would rather watch in full flight than Ryan Pappenhausen. He is my favourite player to watch. Not quite the moneymaker Tommy Turbo is, but not far off it. But I think they can play a great brand of football. I think it's a team of footballers. I think that might be the difference between the tops and the bottoms. Footballers for the athletes. While the footballers are way more entertaining to watch.
And then you've got, live wire far longer coming in to back up Pappenhausen, and he's, just as exciting. Ali Katoa on the edge, they've gone from, the old days of the Big Four when you say it was their game was built on defence and it was a little bit more structured and they just got through their sets and did what they had to do, to now they can do that. But like you say, Cam Munster and Jerome Hughes, they kind of, I guess they vibe off the situation and they'll either play straight and play structured or they'll just throw it around and have some fun.
if we're talking chip and chase tries, that one by Fuller for the Dolphins on the weekend was just absolutely. Surely a team picks them up next season, or he forces his way into the Dolphins somewhere. He just, I don't know where he's been. I guess roaming around in Queensland Cup footy.
He was Queensland Cup Player of the Year last year, maybe the last 2 years, but he was definitely the Queensland Cup Player of the Year last year. And he is just a beautiful player to watch, just like a genuine footballer. And like, Cody Nickeroon's been playing well. You're not going to drop him in the form he's been in. If that drops off, surely we could turn Trey Fuller into a fullback, into our 5'8".
And do it. Yep. I agree.
That run, like I saw it on another podcast. It might have been Dean and Kemp's bloke podcast. They were saying, as impressive as the chip and chase and the collect and the try was, it was the run that led up to that, where he busts straight through
the line.
Jake Trbojevic and someone else. He's just going full steam. They've probably got 200 kilos on him combined. Yeah.
His
unreal.
Explosiveness, and that was not the first time he tried a similar run like that either. Like, he was trying that all game just to get through and really burn. And that try changed the momentum of the game. They led to 3 tries just before the break and put them on top. Like, Manly were killing him that game. So, awesome player. And I don't know, I just love, I love watching that kind of football. And the Dolphins, and part of the entertainment, maybe this is just me, but the jersey colour and the jersey look plays a bit in terms of like entertainment factor as well. And in that all red, like, it's a great looking jersey, the Dolphins jersey for mine, like the classic all red one. Like, that makes it good to watch. Whereas you're watching the Knights with that blue and red and just a mess, just like
the
West
orange
Tigers or the Tigers, like whatever their mess is, like combination of 68 colours.
Next week we're going to rank the jerseys, 1 to 17.
And I can go. I'll just preface next week. I will be going on a few rants about number of jerseys teams have, the lack of home and away jerseys teams have, the absolute disgrace jerseys of some of the Anzac jerseys. But we'll get to that.
We'll be ranking just home and away standard. Otherwise, we could do a whole podcast on jerseys.
Well, there is a jersey guy out there, Stephen Russo, who's a jersey collector. I forget what his footy handle is, but it's like rugby league jerseys or something like that. But he's built a career out of it, so we could do more than one podcast. That's for sure.
All right. Anything else on exciting teams? Well, just on Trey Fuller. I've seen the Dolphins team this week, and Bennett stuck to his guns. Vito, the hammer straight back into fullback, and Fuller to number 18, 18th man. Surely you find a spot for him on the bench somewhere. I don't know.
Bennett does not usually play. Very much plays 80 minutes normally. He does not play the back on the bench very often. He uses his rotation. So I think Fuller's just going to have to buy his time. I think his best path forward into the team will be Nikorima returning to the normal standard of football he usually plays, which is rubbish. And you can get him into the side there. But like, he's a very handy guy to have. Like, he mightn't be in the top 17, but rugby league teams have so many injuries. You would think Fuller would be first in for nearly any backline injury. Like, if there's a winger down, surely he comes in and plays on a wing.
Yeah, if centre goes down, you can move the hammer into the centres, put Fuller at fullback. Yeah. All right.
Breaking news.
Hit me.
Fafita staying at the Titans. Teddy, you've got the oil, surely.
Yeah, I got the oil, actually. It's also, I don't know what's going on with New Zealand time, but this was released about 3 hours ago, Paul. So. For the podcast, but Fafita staying.
Hey, look, people don't know when the podcast is recorded, Teddy. You're just blown it.
Play the game, Teddy. Play the game.
Breaking news: the Panthers have just won their 3rd premiership. Fafita, I think, has been spooked a little bit by the whole Ponga Roosters situation, and not giving too much away. All of the Titans offer was under the salary cap. I'm not 100% sure that all the Roosters offer was under the salary cap, and by that, I'm not saying anything dodgy was going on, but third-party deals and all that kind of thing. it can't be guaranteed. So I think he got spooked by that. And I know he lives with his dad, who's recently out of prison. And he's got him on a straight and narrow living on the Gold Coast. And I think there was a little concern about what a move to Sydney could do on that front. So I've no doubt Des had a good chat to him. I think the effort that's been put in over the last few weeks probably hasn't hurt. And yeah, so I'd say, but I'll tell you what, I cannot remember since Wayne Bennett anyone backflipping on the Roosters. I know, like the Roosters get their man, but to be honest, for what he was being paid, he would have been great at the Roosters on the trend. But I think Angus Crichton's going pretty well at probably half the price. So, yeah, I to me, this will lead to Sam Walker staying with the Roosters because there was concerns he was going to leave. They can now throw the kitchen sink at Walker, and we'll talk about the Wars Roosters game soon. But that kick he put after that break on the zero tackle across field for Tupou to score that try, that's just football. That is just pure football instinct right there. Absolutely loved it. Absolute bottle to do it as well. Who would? You could go to 10 different clubs. The half that wouldn't even think of it, let alone do it. But Drew Hutchison would have taken a hit up. He's the best prop forward for half that you've ever seen.
I did notice Fafita got the start last week. I wonder if, as you say, Des had a word and said, "All right, stick around, and you'll get your time."
Well, he should be starting. He should be playing 80 minutes because he doesn't do any work.
Yeah, absolutely should be.
But they've just to me, the key with Fafita is you need to use him towards his strengths. Like you cannot be using him as a battering ram. It's just not his go. You cannot be using as one of those hard-working edge-back rows who's going to make 40 tackles a game. You really need to use him in space, like they're starting to kick out the dogs, and use him close to the line. He's unstoppable close. I would be using him as dummy half, 3 out of 6 tackles close to the line. Like he's going to run one of them. The problem now is every time he goes dummy half, he's going to have a dart. Like try and use him every now and then as a bit of a decoy to get some balls. So try and use him a bit more properly there. He's going to have a big role over the next few weeks. I just read Brimston's out for 2 months. We missed the entire Origin series, and Foran's out for a little bit as well. So he's gonna. I know that they're not directly impacting him, but he's gonna have to create a lot more himself rather than just rely on good ball playing the game ball.
Yeah. Well, no more news.
Well, not breaking anyway. No.
Sorry, Paul. That was an unnecessary stitch up. Try by Malani.
Let's go. How did we go on the punt last week, Paul?
Oh, here we go. How do we start? We'll start with Blake, shall we? Blake.
Should be quick.
Oh, wow. Blake had 2 multis. Tigers plus 12.5, South plus 5.5, Panthers 13 and over, no good. And he had Cowboys, Panthers, and Manly all head-to-head, no good. Down 100 for the week, down 480 overall. Surly. Well. Is that? Yeah, it is Surly. 2 winners.
Oi!
Oh,
congrats, Surly.
And they wouldn't have been $1.80 winners, I'm guessing.
No.
Dolphins plus 6.5. The Dogs plus 20.5. That must have been an alternate line. And Broncos head-to-head. $70 on that. And he had Ruva, Walsh, and Manu all to score a try.
Oh, nice.
So he came out just under 430 on top. Ooh. And is now only down 257. Karl, you had a win and a loss. Dolphins and Titans both to win. 25 on that. And then you had the Storm minus 3.5, 75 on that. You are now 613 to the good for the season.
Yeah.
Teddy, clean sweep for Teddy. The Broncos and Knights in a double. Dragons minus 5.5. And Turbo and Ezra Mam to score a try. Little try scoring double there. So Teddy is now 321.90 to the good for the season. And I had 2 losses. Karaz to score a try, which he did. He did.
In about the 81st minute, but he did.
And unfortunately, that was in a double with Garrick to score a try. And unfortunately, he passed the ball this week. So
must be listening to the advantage line.
He got shifted to the wing for most of the game when Saab got hurt. That might have been the problem.
Yes,
He said it wasn't passing the ball.
Craig's no. So that went down. And then I had Storm into the Bulldogs plus 15.5. Storm didn't get it done. I'm down 480 for the season.
Big week for the fellas, for three of the fellas. Anyway,
Just happy to see Sterling up and about.
Yeah, he can't. He's in. He's on the Gold Coast.
He's on the Gold Coast
Magic round, so he's spending his winnings already.
He's on the Gold Coast. Maybe he's behind the Fafita re-signing.
Watch the space. He's going to the Wars.
Tipping just quickly. I had Teddy got 7 correct. I had 6 correct. Paul and Blake 3 correct. All right, let's go through a couple of games quickly because we've chewed up a lot of time already. Let's start with Roosters Wars. Roosters 38, Warriors 18. Roosters shot out to a 22-0 lead in about 15 seconds of the game. It was a tough watch for Wars fans early doors. But as Wars fans, we can always find some good in the bad. And from the 23rd minute onwards, the Warriors won the game 18-16.
Oh, yeah, they deserve a bonus point.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah.
That first 20 minutes, Roosters 10 from 10 sets. They score 4 tries. Warriors completed 1 from 3. That's tough. First set, I noted they rolled up the field 50 meters easily off the kickoff, got their kick away. Second set, we did the same, and then Luke Keary charged a kick down. They score. Third set, we had Ed Cossey dropped it cold, and from there it's one-way traffic. It was a wild start to the game.
Was it? It didn't seem that wild. It seemed pretty methodical from the for starters. Like probably need someone counting numbers on a blindside scrum play to make sure the numbers are equal. Like that's like simple stuff like that is really like that is the kind of stuff like the Roosters are an explosive team. That charge down, like they weren't lucky. Like they're 50-50 plays, and that could easily have worked in the Warriors' favour. If they get the ball back, all of a sudden they've got field position and all that stuff. So big risk, but the tackling was poor. Keeping exposed on the edges, time and time again. And like, what was Ed Cozy doing in the game? Like, I'm no Marcelo Montoya fan, but golly gosh, like that's poor. Roosters deserve a lot of credit, but some stuff like the first where Dom Young kind of went over off that scrum play, that was inexcusable. That was absolutely inexcusable there to be so short of numbers down the blind side. But
yeah,
every other team in the comp would have defended that, like, or at least had a man on Young. He might have beaten him, but he would have had a man on him. He just strolled over. How do you leave the best finisher free? So, yeah, I think it's a long road back here for the Wars. I would like, yeah, I'll give the Warriors this. Like you said, that you took credit from like. To me, the Roosters switched off. Robinson blew up at him at halftime for switching off. You won the game. You won 18-16, blah, blah. Don't care any of that. But I will say that you didn't give up the fight, which I think is plenty of hard to take. And, yeah, obviously Fanua Blake is the big leader on that front from on.
Yeah.
I think the way Wade Egan has been used, while he's been injured, has been criminal, to be honest. Like, he has been stand out there being pounded for long minutes. Well, he's clearly injured. So like his effectiveness has waned over the last 6 weeks. Having said that, I don't know about if starting Freddie Lustick is the answer. Well, surely you just bring Freddie Lustick on at the 30-minute mark or whenever he needs a spell. I just didn't understand that at all. The starting Freddie Lustick and that kind of team selection kind of put you on the back foot from the get go, and there was no recovery. Having said all that, the Roosters are a great side. And probably the Broncos would be the only team who could put 4 tries on you in 10 minutes, but you left 4 tries in 10 minutes. That's not great.
SJ put in, I thought, I'll be interested to see what Teddy says here and how he reacts, but I thought SJ put in a heck of a performance considering he had half a peck for majority of the game. Tried his heart out. He was everywhere, all over the field. Going to be a big loss for the next couple of weeks.
Well, look, they're in a bit of trouble there in terms of, and we'll get to it later, the makeup of the team for Magic Round. But how is that not a chicken wing? Did I hear Casey Badger explain it as the arm was already in that position, so it wasn't a penalty? It's like, well, then there'd never be a crusher penalty because the head was already in that position. It's like if the arm or the head is in that position, you have to adjust your tackling position so as to not either crush or chicken wing.
Paul, the former host of this show, had a quote, Matt Fisk. He goes, the problem with arguing with idiots is you go down to their level and they'll beat you with experience. Well, trying to figure out what Casey Badger's argue is exactly the same. Exactly the same. Don't try and make any sense to it. You're 100% spot on. It was a chicken wing. It should have been a penalty. It should have been a sin bin. Straight up. Like, it's just pure. You're 100% spot on that. There's no doubt about it.
Given Kerry's been charged for it, yeah. That's
Like,
all you need to see, right?
Yeah, it's the most obvious. Like, there are chicken wings haven't really been part of the game for a while, but that was an obvious one. That was just obvious. Like, the Red Rooster would have been proud of it back in the wrestling in the late 80s. Like, it was. Yeah, we can go to Casey Badger and how abhorrent her performance was again, but like, does the game no favours with stuff like that? Because I doubt Luke Hugh would have even tried that in the other game with a different official.
Mm.
But you can get away with stuff like that, so why wouldn't you?
That and the non-penalty just prior to half-time. 6 again call.
What's 6 again with 5 seconds to go? It's not a penalty. There's no deterrent on the other team. 6 again with 5 seconds to go. Who cares?
But referees will just get like referees have discretion referees have discretion to give away a penalty or a 6 again, set restart every time. And for her to do that was criminal. Like the Roosters are renowned for pushing it particularly close to the line, and they could just get away with murder. Like the Warriors were just no chance there. Like it was, I thought it was a very, very poorly officiated game again.
Well, can we turn to sort of something that the Warriors can control? They can't control how the referees adjudicate the matches, but they can control how their decoy runners run. And for another week, we've seen our good friend Jackson
Ford
run directly, and
maybe it's too fast. Maybe it's just too fast.
Look, it's very hard to stop if you're running at full, and you probably want to be running at close to full speed to sell the fact that you might be actually getting the ball. But there are decoy runners who know once you get through that first line, you either stop or you make a decision to avoid contact with another player, regardless of how far away they are from the actual ball. It's going to get called every time. It has been called every time pretty much this season. So we know that that's coming. So I think with Edward Cossey's try, I think Mitch Barnett was a decoy runner, and I think he made a slight change in direction as he went through the line to avoid contact with another player. So it's not like it's through the whole team. It just seems that like Jackson Ford is just seems to be the one who it's caught. So if they're doing training this week, I'd be getting Jackson to run through the defensive line and then changing direction afterwards just so that he gets used to it, because that they go into halftime 22-6 down. It's a slightly different ball game.
Yeah.
And he's got 2 problems with the way he does the decoy. One, he kept running straight at their chest. Very hard to avoid that. Like there are times when they haven't awarded it, when someone's when they're kind of jumping down, but you've tried to avoid them. Like if it touches them, you'll normally get one. And he goes through front on. You will notice the really good decoy runners, once the ball's passed, they'll turn side on and try and slither their way through the line if they can't pull up. It's exactly what you've got to do, right? Like you just got to slither your way through the line and keep going. I have no idea. You saw him in that play. He braced for contact. What the hell are you bracing for contact? You've just got, like, when you are bracing for contact, you are pretty much holding a sign up saying, "Do not award this try." like the only disgrace in that play was that the penalty wasn't awarded at the time. I'm not blaming it for letting it play out. Like that's what happened with all these obstructions. But yeah, very very poor from him. And the good teams have generally stopped using those decoy runners a lot. Those block players just are not really like. You don't see the Broncos do it a lot. You don't see the Roosters do it hardly at all.
Some of those decoy runners are now pulling up before they actually get to the line, the first line.
Because, like, you think of the role of the decoy runner, right? Like, the is the assumption that you're going to get the ball. Okay? So, when you're getting the ball, is very rarely right flat on the line, maybe a metre behind the guy passing when you're doing a hit up. You've probably got, assuming they're running up and you're the first decoy runner, you've probably got 7 or 8 metres to play with at that point. Maybe a bit less, but not. You've got a decent amount of space to be able to do it. You don't need to keep accelerating past the ball. Once the ball has been dummied to you, like you're almost better off just falling over. Or if you're a decoy, like it's ugly and it's never going to happen. But once the ball is past you, you're almost better off to just drop into the ground like you would be, like, and not allow it to happen because your role in this is over. Like you have no further role in this. Your role will be when the ball comes back to you after the play doesn't score or whatever. You have no further role in the play. So stay out of it. Like guys who just go and stand in the line or don't run through and a defense team much better than this, trying to find you to hit your line. You've just got to stop before the line. Fall over.
You're right. You're probably better off if you can stop. You're also, you'd be covering the D's eyes, hiding the fact what's going on behind you. Yeah. And then they'll be second guessing even more. So, yeah, I'd love to when we get the Tedeschi Eisenhuth All Stars thing happening to get some line running too, so you can stop fastest.
Well, I'd back myself because I don't think I get to any great pace. So I reckon I can stop on a dime.
I think the lack of momentum would certainly push the odds in your favour there, Teddy.
But he's faster than Tom, so
Yeah, that's a fair point. Also, maybe an exaggeration.
Just quickly to round out this game, if you're a Roosters fan, it's looking pretty. Dom Young was outstanding in that first half. Angus Crichton, 2 tries, disallowed a third. As you say, that kick from Walker over to Tupou was incredible. Just an absolute heads-up play. Sort of as soon as he got the ball, we knew that the Warriors were shot to bits out there. Perfect kick to one of the tallest blokes in the game. Tedesco scores. Sam Walker scores again. Walker's on fire at the moment.
Yep.
Absolutely on fire. Got to be pushing for a Queensland jumper of some sorts or some sort of inclusion there.
No, too far down the pecking order. Too many good utility bats there. He'd be behind like an Ezra Mam, I think, in terms of that number 14 role. I'd be surprised if they moved on from Ben Hunt. Ben Hunt's been going off an absolute buster this year. But if Ben Hunt wasn't to play, I think Mam would be the next point in line. More could do his versatility than being better than Walker. But Dave Evans goes down. Walker is absolutely ready for that call. Like I wouldn't be shifting Ben Hunt there or naming Ben Hunt to start. If you're going to keep Ben Hunt in the team, keep him in the 14 role. But I think he's more than ready.
All right, let's chewed up a lot of time. A lot of time.
We haven't even got to the grid yet.
Shall we? Yeah, we missed the grid this week, shall we?
No, we won't miss the grid. We'll just miss covering the other games. If you want to see what happened, go find a website somewhere. And any other games you want to quickly call out? Very quickly.
I thought the dogs dug in real deep against the Panthers. Even when Cleary was on the field, they defended really, really well. really, as a Bullets fan, really pleased to see the level of effort there. I think there's still a few team selection changes that kind of fix things up. But yeah, I thought that the Dogs really dug in there.
I agree with Teddy there. There's been a big shift in culture, it looks like, at the Dogs this season. They are a team that don't give up. They are a team that defensively are very, very good this season. But I thought the Dolphins-Seagulls game, really, really loved that. Once again, a Wayne Bennett coach team. You can never give up on them.
Yep.
And they are playing some very, very attractive footy. And that is with all of the injuries that they've, when a new team comes into a comp, they usually don't have a lot of depth. Well, they've squeezed out as much sort of juice from the players that they do have and have produced some fantastic footy and some very, very good results.
Titans, I thought Cowboys game was fun to watch. Both teams blew.
Fun unless you're the +3.5. It was grim watching at the end.
Both teams blew so many tries, but it was end-to-end stuff. I actually turned it off before the Cowboys went in their run. I've screaming kids. We had to put on Bluey or something. I can't remember. But yeah, to see that scoreline, an hour later, I was like, holy. And I also thought the Bunnies were much improved. Look, Cody Walker was better. Latrell Mitchell back obviously helps that team. So what about?
Did it? Did Latrell help them? He seemed to be involved in a lot of laziness in the end goal that cost him.
That's true.
What about when your daughter walked in 20 minutes into the Wars game?
Oh yeah, look, I could have. My kids know I love the Warriors, and they walked in to check on the score, and my oldest said, "Oh, Dad, the Warriors, they haven't got any points." She looked me dead in the eye. She said, "They need to do better." I looked her dead in the eye, and I said, "Get out of the room now."
Good work, Hayden.
Yeah,
Dad needs some time.
She's got coaching written all over. I love it.
All right, let's get to the grid.
Oh, sheepers.
Across the top, 100 points in a season. Has played for the Tigers, multiple field goals in a season. Down the left, has played for the Wars, has played for 4 or more clubs, has played for the Dogs.
This was made for you boys, the Wars.
Yeah.
Sort of. Not really.
I'm disappointed in myself.
So am I. Teddy, give us your top row.
100 points in a season, Wars. Got a Wizard, 2.27 points. Ivan Cleary.
Nice.
Tigers and Wars player, Wizard, 0.64. Michael Crockett.
Oh.
And multiple field goals in a season, Wars. Michael Witt, 4.18.
I have got 2 of those 3 myself. Got Ivan Cleary and Michael Witt down the end. In the middle, though, I got Bodine Thompson, 4.67. I struggled with that. I could only think of the really obvious ones.
Blake Ashford.
Blake Ashford, Russell Packer, Ben Matalino.
He could have filled a few of these, Blake Ashford.
I know. What do you? Oh, Paul.
I didn't read it properly.
Wow.
I didn't read it properly. All right, okay. So I got Manu Vatuve. He's 100. Anyway.
Has not scored 100 points in a season.
No. I
did play for the Warriors, though, so you're nearly there.
Yeah, no, I didn't read it properly. Anyway, I got Blake Ashford, 6.25, and I've got James Maloney, 19.19. Speaking of obvious, he was the obvious one there.
Middle row.
4 plus clubs, 100 plus points. Michael Gordon, 7.29. Tigers, 4 plus clubs. James Roberts, 3.51. And multiple field goals in the season, 4 plus clubs. Trent Hodkinson, 6.11.
Oh.
Okay.
I've gone 4 plus clubs, 100 points. Scott Prince, 6.32.
Nice.
Tigers, 4 plus clubs. Wade McKinnon, 1.66. And multiple field goals, 4 clubs. James Maloney, 11.44. I struggled there.
I've got Michael Gordon, 7.29. I've got Scott Prince, 4.26. I've got Luke Burt, 100.
Did Luke Burt kick any field goals?
No, he didn't.
And he only played for the Eels, didn't he?
Yes, no, I was. Forget about it.
Both Ian Hindmarsh and Nathan Callis have kicked more field goals than Luke Burt.
Bottom row, Ted.
Bottom right, this is my time to shine. Dogs, 100+ points in a season. Daryl Halligan, Wizard, 1.24.
How is Halligan a wizard?
Because he played a couple of years in the NRL era, and he's a long time ago. So that's where you get your points. You think of someone from that era.
Stood well clear of him. I was like, no way.
Bulldogs and Tigers player, Fa'amunu Brown, 1.97. And multiple field goals in the season. And Bulldogs player, my three favourite players of all time, a brain, 1.99, Craig Polamalu.
Yeah, I steered clear of Halligan.
So your wizard and your brain are both ex-rugby union players.
Who's that? Craig Polamalu?
Yeah.
Surely not. Don't you dare spoil my Craig Polamalu.
I've got Nick Meaney, 100 points in a season, played for the Dogs, 4.83. Tigers Dogs, Matt Utai, 3.98. And then multiple field goals and Dogs, Brain, 1.77, Ricky Stewart.
Oh, here we go. There we go. He hit a 45-metre field goal win us a game one day. Ricky Stewart. And I still hate the bloke. So.
You'll be happy he signed on again, extended.
He did play schoolboy rugby union. Unless it was a schoolboy, you can't be held responsible for playing schoolboy.
Oh, right. Okay. We'll give him a pass. I've got Daryl Halligan, Wizard, 1.24. I've got Moses Suley, 100. I thought he played for the Dogs. I thought he did.
Moses Suley.
Dragons and Manly, wasn't it?
Tigers.
Didn't play for
Tigers, Dragons, Manly. Yeah.
Tigers as well, yeah.
I was sure he. Anyway, he didn't. And Trent Hodgkinson, 9.63.
Hodkinson or Hodgkinson?
Hodgkinson.
Hodgkinson does not have Hodgkinsons.
Yeah.
Yes.
Stay away.
Stop. Teddy, your total?
Total was 29.2.
41.1.
347.9.
I thought I was in for a good week because when I did it, I was first for the first time ever. So
first
I was
overall.
leading it. Yeah, it was like first
Wow.
at 50, 55 or 57 or whatever it was.
Wow. Nice work. All right. Got to go to a different page. I'll skip the would you rather this week. Save time. One quick one, though. Been plenty of injuries this week. Plenty of superstars gone down. Keen to know, just quickly, what the worst injury you've sustained was and how it was done. Teddy?
I had a compound fracture of my right arm.
Oh.
Snapped both bones. Playing indoor cricket. Went for a cotton bowl with my left hand. Was going straight to mid-off just quietly. Knocked it down. Tried to go under with my right hand. Landed on my arm, and they thought I'd smashed my mobile phone. In my arm now, I've got 3 plates and 30 screws. I was in hospital for like 8 days.
Wow.
Horrific.
I shouldn't laugh.
Compound fractures when it comes out of the skin.
Yeah.
Oh, what was the reaction like from you?
For me, I severe pain. Was like it was. I only found out later. It was that bad that they called off all of indoor cricket for that night.
Wow, you traumatized people.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it wasn't good.
Wow. What about you, Paul?
Well, I don't think I can top that. I was going to say I pulled my calf at a State of Origin party. Celebrating a draw.
The greatest thing I've ever seen.
Oh, geez, it was painful. Crikey.
Paul went up. It's actually on video. We've got the video that we can circulate. You can see the moment the calf goes and Paul drops to the ground.
I don't think we need to circulate it. It's crikey.
Wow. Yeah, I can't top the broken arm. I broke my hand. Got hit playing. I used to play catcher in softball, and the batter swung right through, hit my hand, and fractured the top of my hand. Didn't go to the doctor. Refused to go to the doctor. Tried to play on. Couldn't get my hand back in the glove. Was going on a golf tournament that weekend. Couldn't get my hand in the glove. Played the tournament, won the tournament, and then Dad made me go to hospital.
Hero stuff. This is the John Sattler of low-level New Zealand golf, junior golf.
When I say golf tournament, it was like a men's trip. A lot of alcohol consumed, and probably not good for the hand either.
Oh, great. Keep no pain.
Kept me okay, but
no pain. Yeah. That's the Mark Graham story.
All right, let's get into Magic Round. Teddy, pick a game. Where do you want to start?
I'm going to start with Manly Broncos. For starters, cannot believe the biggest rort in rugby league every single year is the Broncos getting an away game in Magic Round against Manly every single year. Like, seriously, the NRL has to just switch up the home teams occasionally to give some idea of fairness. But this is going to be an absolute whitewash. I don't like a lot from a betting point of view this week. I wanted to kind of go nuts, but I found a hard betting week, but I absolutely love the minus. We're betting the over as well. Man without Turbo are a debacle. They're now playing Jackson Paul on wing as well. He's one of the 3 worst players in the NRL. Horrific. Manly, they've covered just 10 of the last 25 interstate, 2 of their last 10 at Suncorp. Broncos covered 9 of 10 at Suncorp, 14 of 17 at night, 16 of 25 when favoured by more than 6.5, 18 of 26 when off a win of 13 plus. Absolutely love the Broncos this week. I think they're going to carve up. Last 2 times they've met Manly, both on Magic Round, both Manly home games, both Broncos wins of 26 and 38 points. I think it's going to be an absolute one go here. And if you're going to anchor anything into your betting this week, is the Broncos minus. Also, a few little whispers, obviously not confirmed. Some chance Daly Cherubins doesn't play in this game. Might be hurt. So just a few little whispers. They named both Brandon Wakeham and Jake Arthur on the extended bench, which you don't often see. So, could be something in it. We'll see.
I just saw Selwyn Cobbo scored in 3 of the last 4 games. We've got a boost on him. Anytime try scorer was 245, now 280 anytime for that game. What game do you like, Paul?
I like the Sharks Roosters, and I think the Roosters are just going to continue on their merry way. The Sharks, as was mentioned at the beginning of the season, they got a fairly easy draw. Well, they're starting to meet some big boys now, and they're meeting a big boy who is humming along in the Roosters. So, yeah, I really like the Roosters here. Obviously, a neutral ground. So this is where the bookies actually see these 2 teams. $1.60 on the Roosters, I think, is very, very generous. Happy to take that, and also happy to take the minus 3.5. But they're just, their machine is performing at an optimum level right now. I cannot see them getting beat here.
What do the stats say, Teddy?
I think that one was a real hard game to put down. Roosters have dominated the matchup. 1-8 of the last 9, covered the last 4. Playing sensational footy. They've covered 5 of 7 when a favourite of 4 or more, 5 of 7 in a state. But they've covered just 3 of 10 at Suncorp, 5 of 14 off a win. And the Sharks covered 19 of 31 as an underdog, 5 of their last 6 in a state. So one stat to note here, teams on back-to-back interstate games have a really poor record, covered as 44%. So I've got no real lean either way. I'll probably be tipping the Roosters, but no real push there. I would bet in the under, though. These guys have a long history of over games. The last 2 have been 34 fewer, under 7 on the Sharks are a dog, and 16-11 when the Roosters are scoring 22 plus. And when the Roosters are off a win, 12-3 the under. So, yeah, like I'll back the under we might be betting the game, but I can't knock what Paul said. Stats aren't really pushing it away.
12
Joey, a
and,
big miss.
so 12 and 3, the under off a win, not the last 3.
It was 12 and 1. I can't speak to the
Yeah.
definitely not the last 2, so probably the last 3,
Yeah, Joey Manu out for the Roosters. Brandon Smith back. Nico Hines back for Sharks.
Yep, he's in there.
Yeah.
The worry with whether they line up with their players is, but Junior Pong is an out-and-out winger. There's no doing the centres. So we will see if he plays there or if they bring in like a Satur Trippanor to play in the centres, but that is a slight concern.
Yeah. Titans Knights. Titans $2.60, Knights $1.50. I know the Titans are without Brimson and Foran, but I really like the Titans here. Home teams won 10 straight between these two. The Knights have lost 9 of their last 12 interstate, and the Gold Coast have covered the line in 6 straight. $2.60, as I said, for the Titans. I think they're just playing. They've got an incredible amount of momentum at the moment. They've been playing good footy for the last sort of 5-6 weeks. And the Knights, I don't think, are very good at all. Teddy, what are your stats, though?
Well, for starters, it's not just Brimson and Foran. There's no Philip Sami, no Carly Smith-Shields either, which Carly Smith-Shields probably not a big loss, but no Philip Sami, no Jaden Campbell, no Tino, no Brimson. No, they're getting very thin on the ground. What I will say about this, Randall and Verrills were named in the halves for the Titans. I did not expect them to start that way. I think Tom Weaver was named in the reserve. Tom Weaver will almost definitely play if he can pass I think this test. And what happens there? I can't get excited about the teams because Tyson Frizzell was named for the Knights. He almost certainly will not play as well. So plenty of outs here. Struggle to pull too many stats out here. Newcastle have won 3 or 4. They've covered the last 3 of the last 4, but Titans have won 7 of the last 8 in Queensland. Concern with the Titans, bottom 4 teams off a win, cover it just 39%. The Knights, they're just better without Ponga. As a bet, caveat. They're better without Ponga as a betting proposition. The 25 and 17 against the spread without him. So if Ponga plays, this line's 12. So and whether they can cover that 12, I'm not sure. I have no view on the match. Look, when 2 bad teams play, I'll probably take the plus. I think there's a 2 bad teams, so I'm liable to take the plus 6.5. But some good under angles here that are worth playing. Under's 29-21 when the Titans are $2.50 or shorter, and the under is 10-4 when the Knights are in a state, and 20-14 when they play bottom 9 teams. Lack of playmakers in this as well. Toss and gambles that hurt. So 3 of the 4 starting halves from this game, these teams last week are out hurt. So bit of a worry there.
Yeah, interesting. I struggle mentally to want to take the under at Suncorp.
Yep, it's a big overs ground. It's a huge overs ground.
Another game we should probably talk about, our Wars, $4.80 against Penrith, $1.19. Panthers have won 8 straight and 9 of the last 10 going back to 2018. Played last year Magic Round, Panthers won 18-6. The Warriors have lost 14 straight versus the reigning premiers. Not great. The under is hitting 8 straight between these two. What else have you got, Teddy?
This line is very, very big. It's a very, very big line here. No Johnson,
13,
no Cleary.
13.5.
Panthers obviously have a great record without Cleary, but that is usually with their backup half. Brad Schneider's also out there. So now they're playing Luai is playing halfback, and Jack Cole, the young fella's playing in 5'8". I'm not sure they've got that many points in them. Having said that, the depth of the Warriors is obviously being tested with Charles being pushed into the halves. By that, I don't think anyone saw that coming, did they? That Charles would be pushed into the halves. So for me, his best asset is his kick return and his work rate against Sue. Well, that's all been negated now. He's certainly not a playmaker. I would have thought Dylan Walker would have gone into the halves, or Paul Roach maybe. But we'll see how they line up. But Obviously, I can get Tane to a picky back into the side. I don't know how. You can't take the plus from mine, but it's a big minus to lay. So not really now. I think this has got unders written all over it. Both playmakers out of the game. Both look like they're going to struggle to score points. I think this will be defence first. I'll be back in the under in this one.
Where are you sitting in this game, Paul?
Oh, I'm not having a bet in this game.
That's 3 weeks in a row. You haven't had a bet in the Warriors.
I'm trying to turn them around. I should probably punt the Panthers. I should back the Panthers, stop them, out out of the slump. Yeah, I agree with Teddy. I think it's a big unders game. I thought possibly the first option would be to go with Dylan Walker in the halves. And after that, I thought, well, if you're going to put Chance in there, why not put Tuo Picky in there and leave Chance at the back, where, as Teddy said, he's got a huge work rate, and Tuo Picky seems like he's got a wee bit of sort of extra to him in terms of, I guess, well, he likes to jump around a wee bit. So I thought that might have been a wee bit more suited in the halves, partnering up with Tamari Martin. So, yeah, just a wee bit of a surprise there. Great to see Ali Leatawa getting a go in the centres there. But, yes, the back line just doesn't have that Rolls-Royce look about them, unfortunately. And then the fact that they've had to put Mitch Barnett on the edge, I don't know. Yeah, it's going to be a tough one. If they can keep it close, I think that's almost a win for them.
I'm going to take Searley's role here. I don't think it's all doom and gloom. I wouldn't be surprised to see Tuo Picky start in the halves and Chance go back to fullback. As you say, Teddy, his strongest part of his game is kick return. The big one for me is Tamari Martin. He has to stand up. For the last 3 or 4 weeks, he's been playing, but you wouldn't really know it.
Wouldn't have known he's on the field.
No. If the Warriors are to win, he has to stand up and absolutely produce something. The forward pack still very strong. Bench is still strong. I don't think it's all doom and gloom. I like the plus. As you say, the Panthers, I don't know if they've got the points in them. You saw last week they only put on 18 on the Dogs?
16.
16, there you go.
Yeah, I think that's a very fair criticism. I'll be interested to see how the Suncorp pitch holds up by Sunday as well. I'm keen on the under in that game for the same reason. I don't think either team has a lot of points in them. I just cannot. I'll be back in the Warriors under point. I just don't see the Warriors are scoring points this week. I don't see the Penrith defence hasn't really changed up that much with Cleary in or out, and I don't know. Tamari Martin is just a non-entity. As a player, played more games in the NRL this year. You don't even think about. He's just a non-factor. Like when Chanel gets back, surely he comes into the team ahead of him. Like.
Yeah.
And there's no knock on in fact, it's actually a big knock on Tamari Martin. This has been his whole career, though. Like he's not been an explosive player. He's not been a creative player. He's been a second banana. But second bananas have to offer something. He's not offering anything. So big worry can be the main guy. Any chance of a late team change? That they'll play someone in the halves?
You mean someone that's not in the starting side at the moment?
Yeah.
I don't know. We need a Searley. We need Searley.
Yeah.
He will know. I'll text him after this and then I'll let you know, Teddy.
Yeah. Oh no, I was wondering if Paul Roach or whatever would come into it, but like he's a mainly hooker, so
We come back on with some more breaking news after we record later.
Breaking news: Daily Messenger has just passed away.
All right, let's get to some betting. Unless there's any other games you just want to call out.
I'll briefly mention the last game of the week, the Tigers Dolphins. Can't believe won't be just my bets, but this will be the time the Dolphins are the biggest favourites of the year. The Tigers, who are without Aiden Caesar and a few other players, have now lost John Bateman and Isaiah Papali'i, who is the engine room of that team. I bet they're going to get exposed all over the field, you would think. Hammer back as well. So I think troubling signs for in Tiger Town and the Dolphins. And if you of us picked them to make the 8 this year, Paul, it's flying, aren't they?
They are. They are looking very, very good. Yeah. No, I'm happy with it. And I love the footy that they're playing.
It's wonderful to watch.
All right, let's get to some betting. $100 each. You've got Blake's bets there.
Yep. So, Blake, 2 multis. First multi, Knights -2.5. Broncos head-to-head. Roosters Sharks over 41.5. $90 on that multi.
That's paying $3.83.
And then he's got Manly +11.5. Rabbits +8.5. Para +13.5. Waz +13.5. $10 on that.
I don't know what that's paying.
Hundreds.
We'll get to it later.
Doesn't matter.
Okay, Surly, also 2 multis. Broncos, Storm, Dolphins, all head-to-head, and Sharks +13.5, $90 on. And then he's got a try-scoring treble. The man we've just been talking about earlier in the podcast, Fafita, the Fox, Addo Carr, and Cobbo to score a try. And he's got $10 on that.
You might as well stay hot. What do you got?
Right, I've got 2 multis as well. The first one, a try-scoring double, and I've got Jack Bostock to score a try for the Dolphins. I think you could pick a number of Dolphins this weekend, and you're probably going to come out on top. And I've got him into Blaze Talangi. I really like the way that he sort of floats into a game from that fullback role for the Eels. I don't think they're going to score too many, but I think that he is a wee bit of value. So those 2 to score a try, that multi comes out to $5.75, $50 on that.
Heck of a name too, Blaze.
Yeah. And then the other one was just 2 head-to-heads. I like the Roosters head-to-head. I'm going to take the Rabbits head-to-head to beat the Carolina. You look at Teddy. I know they'll get him
Fun
going.
fact, the Rabbitohs are 0-16 against the spread in their last 16 games.
Hey,
I just want them to win.
Records are made to be broken, Teddy. Records are made to be broken.
True.
They're due. They're due a win.
Well, you know what? They're probably not going to get a better chance against the Cowboys. The Cowboys are pretty lackluster at the moment.
What have you got, Teddy? Your $100.
Well, much more boring. 80 on the Broncos -10.5 at $1.90. 10.5, 11.5. And I'll have a $20 try scoring multi. I'm on fire with these at the moment. So I'm going to have Kyle Feldt to score a try, Will Warbrick to score a try, and Jack Bostock to score a try against some of the worst defensive edges in the comp. I'll come out about $6.30 of 20 on that.
Nice. You selected a rugby union player in there.
Oh no, but you know what I did? I'll be happy to let Jack someone to score a try. And Will Warbrick, very good finisher. Will Warbrick cannot, for the life of him, catch a bomb or make a tackle.
I've got 3 plays this week. I'm going to do what I did last week and take on double a couple of outsiders head to head. I've got the Raiders and the Titans. 30 on that at $6.11. 60 on the Titans +6.5, Souths +8.5 at $3.55, and then $10 on a 3-man try scoring multi. I've got Crichton, Coates, and the Hammer all to score at $7.70, and that will do it. What promos?
Yep. So we've got same game multis on all NRL games for Magic Round. Once again, a 3 or more leg same game multi. If you fail by 1 leg, get some bonus cash up to $50 back. Check out all the TCs on the promotions part of the TAB website. And I thought I'd mention the first Women's State of Origin match is Thursday night, and the Maroons are $1.58 favourites against the New South Wales women at $2.40. Teddy, surely you've got an angle.
Yep. You want to be on the minus in this one. Best bet, though, will be the total, the under. And my girl, my absolute favourite footballer in Australia, male or female, never won more money on any individual in any sport, Tamika Upton. Just get on it. First try, last try, man of the match, or woman of the match. Anytime try scorer, Tamika Upton. She is a grade A superstar. So if you haven't watched the Ladies Origin before, this is just as brutal, just as fierce, and just as hardly fought. So as I mentioned, great game. Looking forward to it.
What's happened to the Newcastle half? Is her name Jessie?
Jessie Southall.
Yeah.
She's not that good, Paul. So she's not that good. So dropped.
Yeah,
But
yes, wow.
she's only a kid. She's only a kid. Like, I'm not ruling her out going forward, but she had a very poor Origin last year. Very, very poor Origin. But that's where New South Wales fall apart. Their halves are awful. How Kira did miss selection is one of the greatest travesties since Ryan Papenhuyzen has been picked. But yeah, Kira Dibb in the team, like very ordinary half pairing. That's the big difference for mine. Like, they're probably more talented out wide the Blues, but Queensland they've got Upton and they've got a great half pairing and they've got Ali Breed and short lock. They've got playmakers everywhere. So yeah,
Sounds like a lot of similarities between men's and women's New South Wales teams.
You wouldn't believe it. Queensland Spirit is actually a thing. So. and idiot New South Wales selectors are also a thing. So.
And that is the perfect place to leave it for this week.
But luckily we didn't go over time.
No, we're good. We've got 2 minutes to spare. I think we're at hour 10. It's probably overs, but whatever. Teddy, thank you for your time again.
Pleasure. Cannot wait to be back next week to talk lead up to Origin.
Yeah, I was going to say, start thinking about your Origin teams too. We have a jersey debate and Origin debate.
Oh, what a weekend. Magic weekend, Women's State of Origin, PGA Championship. It's all happening, Teddy.
Oh, it's all happening. Who needs sleep?
Thank you for showing up today. Enjoy Magic Round. Paul will be there live on ground. So go well. Get some content for us.
Are they letting you into Australia, Paul?
Can we not release this podcast until I'm actually driving a place?
All right. And thank you to everyone for listening. We will be back next week to do it all again. Cheers.